Hello and welcome to another update video about AVAX. Well, another day full of correcting and corrections. The overall situation hasn't changed on the chart. The price rallied a little bit higher actually yesterday after the last video. And yeah, the idea is still that we could have completed this wave 2 here on Friday. Well, some coins might have put a low in place on Friday. Not all of them, and you will see a bit of selling pressure today, so alts are really bleeding today again. So I don't have that confidence to say that really a low is in, which is why I've emphasized yesterday on the chart that be aware, it could easily extend this overall correction as highlighted here in white, with this white scenario. The labels in white show you the roadmap of basically the scenario in which wave 2, this correction, which is just correcting the move that happened to the upside between the 23rd of January and the 18th or 19th of March high. So obviously this correction could extend, right? The wave 2 is typically just a counter trend move. So that's the idea that we have a 3-wave move to the downside, which to be honest could have completed. So what we did was define a target area within the standard support area. So there's a standard support zone into which you would expect the price to get to, and then the price should find support somewhere in that zone. There are typically 4 Fibonacci retracement levels that should be watched. And yeah, as long as we're holding the 78.6 retracement level, which in this case is at $32.76, the focus could be on higher still. But that means we have to give it that space technically. Now, if a pullback was extremely shallow, which this one was, at least rather shallow, it also includes the, let's say, the risk, or let's say the probabilities that this correction could easily extend. So what looks like a completed ABC structure in wave 2 in orange could simply be a larger A wave, because A waves can be ABC structures. If the support area offers plenty of space still, we have to consider that. And then we could rally now in a B wave, which is an ABC structure, and then still come down in wave C later, possibly close to $38 or even $32. So that's something that we just have to keep in mind. And technically speaking, I always say, for most people, probably reasonable to add positions in the support zones when the price gives us a nice and healthy B wave rally. It might be reasonable to take some profits. If there is no real B wave, then fair enough. Then the original plan can continue to be used, basically just accumulation in the support zone. But if unexpected corrective rallies happen, this can offer the opportunity to take some profits after making a pullback trade, right? But that's what I'm still focusing on here. So that ABC structure, it's at least a scenario we need to consider. I'm fairly neutral between them both. Remember that the move down was technically complete. So this ABC structure, but that doesn't mean the wave 2 has to be complete. That wave 2 was extremely shallow. So we just have to see if the price in the next stage can break above resistance. That's the standard resistance area for the B wave that would extend this correction. And consequently, a sustained break above resistance would suggest that the wave 2 in orange was completed. And then if that's the case, well, the third wave can send us way higher. And for example, such a standard target for a third wave, if the wave 1 and the wave 2 are completed, well, we'd be looking at really minimally $126, ideally $143 or more. But let's first see if we can hold support. I mean, it's not really clearly bottomed yet. We might be in the stages of forming a low, but it's not confirmed yet. And looking at really the microstructure, it's possible that the current decline is a B wave. So I shared with you yesterday already that this could have been the A wave top. That was a bit too shallow for a B wave. I think it made another rally after the last video, only 3 waves. So it could just be an expanded flat that's forming here. And yeah, at some point, if we turn around and then break above the Monday high, which was formed at $50.70, then this could be our wave C of circle B. Yeah, or we could work on the circle A wave in orange. That's the challenge with this structure. If you're a bit, if you're not so aware about these structures, the diagonal patterns, then let me tell you that it will be difficult to determine and to call a low in place, because the beginning of that rally here on the 23rd of January is an ABC structure. So it could be the A wave, the wave 1, yeah, of a larger diagonal pattern, which means also the third wave is an ABC structure, which could turn into an even larger ABC. And when you're only dealing with corrective structures, it is structurally difficult to say, okay, the low is in, because normally we rely on Fibonacci levels and structure. But when you're dealing with corrective structures, you can't watch for a 5-wave move necessarily. If there is one, great. If there isn't one, it could still rally. So that's the problem. Therefore, I'm tracking this. I think at the moment it's reasonable to assume that maybe one more high forms in a C wave. There isn't a reliable setup really at the moment, I think, unless you want to sort of put a stop below the Friday low. And then a C wave rally could drive us into resistance here, $53 to $56 maybe next. And then from there, if the pullback is corrective, that will be an important hint. If the move down will be corrective in nature instead of impulsive, then this is likely the orange count. And that could be a nice setup for a larger C wave rally then. So we have to have a little bit of patience, but overall, yeah, still corrective price action. If that's within the white count or the orange one needs to prove itself still. And at the moment, we just have to technically give it space all the way down to the lowest point of this orange support area if the market needs that space. But it wouldn't change the overall assumption that we are in a wave 2 correction. So that's why we have these zones on the chart. They give us an idea of what the risk is in the current scenario. Yeah, that's my update about AVAX. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.